Dr. Omar Kholeif, and I am the Director of Collections and Senior Curator at Sharjah Art Foundation. I'm also the curator of this exhibition that we're standing in today, entitled Plaited Time, Deep Water, by the artists Lubaina Himid and Magda Stawarska. The exhibition, Plaited Time, Deep Water, is the first solo exhibition in the Afro-Asian context by the artist Lubaina Himid, born in Zanzibar, and the Polish-born artist Magda Stawarska. The exhibition is produced and created as an ongoing conversation, or I like to say, the viewer is made to feel that they are walking through paths and corridors, or indeed reading correspondence between two long-time collaborators. If you think of the title, Plaited Time, Deep Water, lots of different things are summoned. There is the idea of waiting, of movement, the idea that something requires and demands that you stand still, such as the act of plaiting someone's hair, or welding, creating, making. Indeed, the exhibition is about the making of an artist, a making of an imagination. Lubaina Himid is one of the pioneering artists known both in Britain and internationally for her commitment to celebrating Black creativity in Black people's lives. This has manifested primarily in painting, but also in installation, sound, performance, architecture, and writing. If we think of the deep water, we might think of something inviting, such as the prospect of diving, or we might think of the treacherous thought of the water as a space that is one filled with tragedy. And indeed, it is this lyrical interpretation of Sharjah and its scenography that creates the context for an exhibition realized by two artists that exists almost like a performance. As you come towards Sharjah Art Foundation's Mureijah Square art spaces, you are greeted by a series of flags. Flags that ask questions, flags that are excerpts from poems, flags that are kangas, pattern reminiscent of East African dress. They look at us as we stand in here in this pink room, a room where a painted poem that says, "Our tongues caress the bloom," I hear. Where do these words come from? These words are excerpted from the work of the late poet Essex Hempel. Here they find new life and new meaning and demonstrate the artist's interest in language, in translation, but also in the idea that language itself can become made animate into an imaginary world unto itself. Walk across the expanse into Gallery 3. Boats and boats greet you as if you're walking along the shores of a canal. But these aren't just any boats. These are boats with myriad pattern that represent various historical references for the artist, Lubaina Himid. The sound of water ushers us in to a room, a perfect square, a room that invites you to interrogate the question of safety and danger, to consider what it means to live in exile, to think about whether those boats, those beautiful painted boats, whether in the form of a drawing, a sketch, or in a monumental painting, whether that boat is an object of beauty or a boat that may have carried slaves that may have been pushed off that boat. Is that the reason why that boat is empty? Or is it rather that we are being summoned towards a space of collective dreaming? Come back, walk slowly, and a large triptych of a fishing boat against a wall. Across from it a sign that reads, "Some boats wait forever." Is this a proposition or a question? Is this a note or a notice that certain trades, certain paths, certain forms of movement have been erased, have come to a halt, that economies of place that nourished certain communities no longer exist? It is for you as the visitor to decide and to interrogate what these questions mean. Magda Stawarska's work is concerned with a practice of inner listening, what it means to think through cityscapes as starting points to begin conversations with other people. Those conversations then become transposed into printmaking, scenography, painting, and sound installations. Having worked for 2 decades, Stawarska is a pioneering figure, especially known for her printmaking and investigations in sound. It is a privilege and honor to be able to have had these numerous years together, to be privy to the conversations between these 2 incredible artists, to be able to see one person's thoughts be captured by another and to be developed into an installation, an exhibition that feels as if it is one singular performance where you, the viewer, where you, the visitor, are the single most important person in the room.